The most powerful empire in modern WWE is standing on the edge of a knife. And with one single, secret conversation, that empire could either expand its reign for a generation, or implode from within. We have just learned that Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, was caught in a clandestine, high-stakes meeting backstage with a man who carries the weight of a legendary, destructive legacy, Zilla Fatu, the son of the late, great Umaga. But that was only the first tremor. Because from the other side of the wrestling world, a ghost from Roman's past has suddenly spoken out. Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, has broken his silence, and his words aren't just a message. They are a direct challenge to the very foundation of everything Roman Reigns has built. This isn't just another backstage rumor. This is a collision of worlds. A story of blood versus brotherhood. And what happens next could redefine the future of professional wrestling forever. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of long-term storytelling, of legacy, and of real, palpable tension that you can feel through the screen, then what I'm about to break down for you is perhaps the most significant behind-the-scenes development we have witnessed in years. We are witnessing the opening moves of a power play that involves the past, present, and future of not just WWE, but of the entire Anoa'i family dynasty. And it involves a voice from AEW that has decided now is the time to be heard. So, before we dive into this absolutely explosive story, do us a huge favor, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and crush that notification bell. You are not going to want to miss a single update on this, because this saga is unfolding in real time. Let's start with the moment that sent the first shockwave. Hours before Monday Night Raw went on the air, in the sterile, concrete corridors deep within the arena, away from the roar of the crowd and the glare of the broadcast cameras, two titans of lineage stood face to face. According to multiple backstage sources, Roman Reigns, flanked by an aura of unquestioned authority, met with Zilla Fatu. Now, for those who may not know, Zilla is not just another prospect. He is the son of Umaga, the Samoan smashing machine, a man so dominant, so terrifyingly brutal, that his name still commands respect a decade after his passing. The atmosphere was described as electric, tense, and heavy with the weight of history. This wasn't a friendly family reunion. This was a summit. And then, the words were exchanged. Leaked audio and witness accounts give us this incredible exchange. Roman Reigns, with that quiet, menacing calm he's mastered, looked at Zilla and said, "You have the blood. You have the legacy. But do you have the heart to be part of something greater?" He wasn't just asking a question. He was issuing a test. An invitation to the most dominant faction in the modern era. But the response he got was not what anyone expected. Zilla Fatu, without a moment of hesitation, looked the tribal chief dead in the eye and replied, "I'm not here to follow. I'm here to prove I belong at the top." Let that sink in. In the world of the bloodline, where acknowledgement of Roman supremacy is the absolute law, this is nothing short of rebellion. This is a declaration of independence. Zilla wasn't asking for a seat at the table, he was questioning who gets to sit at the head of it. This changes the entire dynamic. When Roman brought in Solo Sikoa, it was to add a new enforcer, a loyal soldier. But Zilla, his words paint him as a future king. He carries the same royal blood, the same ferocious lineage as Roman, but with the ambition of a man who has something to prove not just to the world, but to his own family. The question is no longer if Zilla Fatu will be a part of the bloodline story. The question is, will he be Roman's greatest ally, or his most dangerous rival from within the very dynasty he commands? Just as the wrestling internet was set ablaze by the revelation of this secret meeting, a second bombshell detonated, this one from a completely different battlefield. From the chaotic and unpredictable world of All Elite Wrestling, Jon Moxley, the man we all knew as the unhinged Dean Ambrose, broke his silence. And he didn't talk about his current rivals. He didn't talk about AEW. He looked directly into a camera and delivered a message that was clearly, unmistakably, meant for one man, Roman Reigns. In a raw, unfiltered, and emotionally charged clip, Moxley said this: "Roman wants to talk about bloodlines and legacy. He forgot that brotherhood runs deeper than blood. The Shield may be dead, but the bonds we forged, those don't just disappear." For anyone who lived through the Shield era, those words hit like a sledgehammer to the chest. Moxley isn't just reminiscing. This is a philosophical declaration of war. He is directly challenging the core principle of Roman's entire tribal chief persona. Roman's empire is built on a foundation of bloodline, heritage, lineage, the unbreakable bond of family. It's a story of dominance through destiny. But Moxley is throwing it all back in his face, reminding him, and the entire world, that the most powerful force Roman ever wielded wasn't born from a bloodline. It was forged in brotherhood. The shield was not bound by family trees, they were bound by trust, by struggle, and by a shared revolution against the establishment. Moxley is essentially saying, your kingdom is built on sand. The throne you sit on was built by the brothers you left behind. He is weaponizing their shared history, and in doing so, he has introduced a conflict that no championship belt can solve. This is a battle for Roman Reigns' soul. So here we are. Roman Reigns stands at the most complex crossroads of his entire career, caught in a perfect storm of his own making. On one side, you have the future of his bloodline, Zilla Fatu. A powerful, defiant new generation that could solidify his dynasty for years to come, but whose ambition threatens to shatter Roman's absolute control. This is the internal threat. On the other side, you have the ghost of his past, Jon Moxley. A living reminder of a different kind of power, a different kind of loyalty. A voice from outside the castle walls, calling into question the very legitimacy of his reign. This is the external, ideological threat. This is no longer a simple storyline. This is Shakespearean drama playing out in the world of sports entertainment. It's a tale of a king who must decide whether to embrace a rebellious prince, potentially strengthening his kingdom but risking his own throne, all while a former brother-in-arms declares that the king has forgotten where he came from. The implications are staggering. Could this lead to a civil war within the bloodline, with Zilla challenging Roman's authority? Could Moxley's words plant a seed of doubt in Roman's mind, or even in the minds of the Usos or Solo Sikoa? Could we be witnessing the early, faint outlines of a story that somehow, someday, blurs the lines between WWE and AEW in a way we never thought possible? The threads are all there: legacy, betrayal, redemption, power. One thing is for certain: the ground is shifting beneath the feet of the tribal chief. The era of unchallenged dominance is over. Whether the challenge comes from new blood or old brothers, Roman Reigns is facing a fight that cannot be won with a spear or a guillotine choke. This is a war of ideology. The wrestling world is holding its breath. The next move, whether it's on Monday Night Raw, at a major PLE-like crown jewel, or in another leaked video from AEW, will be absolutely historic. But what do you think? This is where I want to hear from you. Will Zilla Fatu join the bloodline, or will he try to tear it down from the inside? Is Moxley's message just a one-off comment, or is it the start of something much, much bigger? And who wins in the battle for Roman's soul, blood or brotherhood? Let me know your predictions and theories down in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay on top of this evolving saga, make sure you smash that like button, and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss our next update. The story is just beginning, and you are not going to want to miss what happens next. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay locked in.